Hello, this is Marie-Aude with the Eclectic French Yogini channel. So you have hurt your back maybe, or you have a chronic back pain, or it's acute, you just had a little bit of an injury, you lifted something that was too heavy, and then boom, your back seizes. It's happened to me many times, and it just happened last week, about 5-6 days ago. So in any case, a few things you can do when that happens. First of all, you don't do any exercise or any yoga or any stretches on the spot when you have an acute pain like this, right? If you've hurt your back. If it's chronic and ongoing, it's a different story. So you just want to ice and put heat on the injury soon after it happens. And you want to let the body just go through its process of inflammation. That's what's going to happen. The inflammation is there to actually protect us, an abundance of blood flow in the area, and to help it heal eventually. So this is what you want to do, and you want to add perhaps creams and salves. And so what I put on myself, what I always use, I use a magnesium spray, and that's very easy to buy, and so I put it straight on there. It might tingle or even burn, because if the muscle is seized or tight, it's going to want to relax it. So the magnesium spray is oil. It's an oil spray. It's a relaxant, so it's going to help you just not feel as much pain and help the muscles. It's going to nourish them as well. I add deep tissue from Dr. Schultz. So it's a few drops. You only need like 3 or 4 at the very most. And that will just ease the tightness and the pain as well. So you'll have more mobility. So I use that. I also like to use an Ayurvedic muscle relaxant. So it's an oil, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to put it on the screen. I'll put a list right here on the screen. So these are the 4 things that I use: your magnesium oil spray, the deep tissue from Dr. Schultz. It's a miraculous kind of deep tissue. I use the Ayurvedic oil that is also a muscle relaxant. You can use tiger balm as well. That works really well. Anything that's going to just heat the muscle and nourish it as well. And then tea relief is one of the things that I always use. Tea relief is easy to find, and it's got arnica in it and many other herbal remedies in it. So it's a homeopathic cream. You can use it topically. I do both, and you can use it orally as well. So you buy the drops, the homeopathic drop that you can put under your tongue, and you want to use it 3-4 times a day, at least 10 drops each time. So that's how I go about when I have pains or I have anything that's major. And then you want to wait about 2-3 days before you start stretching and do some yoga. So we're going to do a few sets of exercise that are not very intense, but to help release the spine. And if you have a chance, you want to go to see your chiropractor. If you don't have one, it would be a good idea to find one. It's best to have your own chiropractor before you get an injury, because when you have an injury, then they already know you, they already know how your spine functions and how things are with you, and they can actually address what's happening. So the other thing you can do also is massage. I'm not big on massage, but I know it works really well. So that's another thing. So you always want to wait at least 2-3 days, because the muscle is going to still tighten up and seize during that time before you start doing any exercise, chiropractic care, or body movement of some kind. So let's get started. We'll try to release the tension, and then you can do this pretty much daily if you want. After that, during or every other day, to just release the spine and allow the body to come back into its natural shape and for if you have bulging discs, for the discs to become healthier again. It's a process, right? Nothing happens overnight. So if you have back issues, you probably have difficulty sitting down and standing up, and one of the positions of sitting or standing or lying down is easiest for you. It's usually not all of them. So we're going to start out standing and see if we can do some relaxation of the lower back. So let's bring yourself facing the wall. If you have a mat, that's great. If you don't, that works out also. So we'll face the wall here. The feet are hip width apart. And then we'll bring the hands on the wall. We'll start breathing in and out of our nose. So take an inhale and an exhale. So even breathing can feel a little tight. I'm just, I don't know, I'm about 2 feet away from the wall. And we're going to change that as we go. So make sure your weight is onto the wall and you're leaning into your hands. We're going to start sticking your glutes back. So tuck the belly here. You want to tuck in and back. And then if you feel sensations, your pain, just bend the knees. And I want you to try to drop the chest. So I'm going to move back. I'm a little too close. We want eventually the spine to be parallel to the floor, but not just yet. See, I'm at an angle here. And you want your feet underneath your hips. So that's a big stretch for me. And if you're okay there, just breathe in and breathe out. We're lengthening the spine. Smooth inhale. Through the nose, smooth exhale. Again, smooth inhale. And exhale. Let's walk the hands a little bit further down. Press your glutes back. Eventually the torso will be completely parallel to the floor. And if you can't, that's fine too. See, I'm bending the knees to ease my lower back so it's not so much pressure in my spine. Big breath. Big exhale. Again. And then we're going to straighten one leg, keep the other leg bent. So easy does it. One side might be easier than the other one. This is my injured side, my left side. The one I'm straightening the left leg here. And I'm going to switch leg. Left knee bent, right leg straight. I'm breathing. Using my Ujjayi breath if possible. Good. One more. And then we'll tuck the belly and then we'll bring the torso up. Take it in steps, depending on what's happening with you. Good. And just here, so you're going to keep the tippy your hand right here. So shoulder height with the hands. My arms are shoulder height. And then I'm going to come on my tiptoe here. So hollow the lower part of your belly right above the pubic bone. And then grow the spine a little bit here. Breathe in. Good. Breathe out. Nice. And exhale, releasing the heels. We're going to bring the feet wide. Not too wide, but wider than the hips. Turn the toes in. And then let's bring the hands so touch with your fingers the hip bones right here in front of you. You can feel those big bony part of you near your belly. And then we're going to put the thumbs right at the bottom of the floating ribs, the lowest part of your ribs right here. And then let's take an inhale. So as you inhale, you can feel the separation between the ribs and the hip bones. There's like an opening that happens and you can feel it probably in your back. So as you exhale, you want to keep the spacing that we just gained between the hip bones and the lower ribs. And then as you inhale, take an inhale. Expand a little higher. Try to lengthen the spine up a little bit more. Exhale, stay in that space. And then inhale. Go a little bit higher, so find more room, so there's more extension in the belly, but also in the back. Good, one last breath. And stay, exhale. Good, and inhale, we'll bring the left arm up. So try to keep the torso real long here. So you may not be able to go too far to the side. Let's lean to the right. Left arm is up. Good. One more breath. Don't go too far, right? Your lower back might be a little bit discomfort right here. And so release the right arm, left arm, and let's bring the right arm up. Other side. And it doesn't matter if you've done the opposite side, just switch side. So I have a lot more room on that side. That right side lower back is not hurting me at all. Good, let's take a deep breath. And then inhale, let's come back up. Good, let's sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands at the heart, facing the wall again. We're going to try to go a little further down. You're going in 2 blocks here. Use the highest part of your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can bundle up pillows or blanket and just make sure they're high enough to reach. So we're going to hinge forward. So let's bring the hands on the knees actually. Take an inhale and then stick your glutes back. Exhale. Bend the knees deeply and we'll bring the forearms on the thighs. So this should be relaxing your back. So there's a flat back here. My legs are working. Tuck the belly slightly and breathe. If this is too much pressure for you, reach for the block. We'll be here for a few more minutes. I mean seconds, not minutes. You got to find that spot where the back is not seizing and hurting. And then let's bring the hands on the block, nice and flat. Straighten the legs, flatten your spine. If you cannot flatten the spine here, bend the knees. Right, you want your flat back, the legs can be bent according to your hamstring and how flexible you are. So I'm breathing in my spine here and then rounding my back. Inhaling, round. Spreading the shoulder blades as well, and then exhaling, drop the chest and do a little bit of a cow. We're doing a cat-cow on our hands and feet. A slight one. Tuck and round. Inhale, exhale, roll under. Inhale, tuck and round. Exhale, curl under. And one more. Good. And exhale, come into a neutral spine. So shift the weight onto your heels a little bit more here and drop your chest down. So you could bring the blocks a little closer and then bring your forearms here. Only if you had the room. Or you could drop the hands on the floor. You can switch the height of the blocks. Right, you follow what your body is telling you and how much you can do. We're doing a standing forward fold, allowing the spine to, the lower back to stretch, but also the glutes to stretch. Hi, JD. Yes, hi. This is JD. Big breath.
Good. Couple more. Relax the head and neck. Okay, nice. We're going to come down onto our hands and knees. Grab a blanket if you have one, and then sit. Bring the blanket behind your thighs and on top of your calves. You could bundle it up a little higher and sit this way. I'm going to sit a little lower because my back allows. So do my quads. If you have any knee issues, yeah, you want to bundle a little higher, or you could sit on the block between your feet. Just relax here. Keep the spine nice and tall. You want to release the tailbone down. We press the chin in and back towards the back of the neck to have a long spine. So I did have a chiropractic adjustment yesterday, which relieved me of a lot, and I can move a lot easier today. But this is my first yoga appearance here, and since my injury. So it's been it's my 6th day, I suppose. A deep breath, nice and easy. Good, and then we'll release the blanket. And if you can, we'll come onto our hands and knees or do a cat-cow this way. So knees hip-width apart, hands underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale and round the back. Again, go as far as you're able without hurting yourself. Maybe you can't round very much. And then exhale, curl under, shoulder blades in together. Hollow the belly here, so try to keep your lower back neutral. The movement is in the upper chest more than anything. Inhale, look in front of you. Exhale, round. Inhale. Draw the sternum bone up and forward, and exhale, round. And then again, inhale. And exhale. Good, one more. And exhale. Sitting back into your child's pose. Easy does it. If you need a blanket again behind your thighs, do that. And drop your head onto a block or stack your forearms underneath your head. We're trying to keep the spine nice and straight, including the neck. So don't drop your head further down than the spine can release. So breathing smoothly in your entire spine here. Inhaling through your nose if you can. And exhaling through the nose. I can feel my spine releasing and elongating and finding more room as I breathe in and out, and you should feel about the same. It's a little tender, there's no doubt, but you'll find more mobility afterwards and more ease. Good, couple more breaths. Last one. Very nice. And we're gonna reach forward and find our down dog. So you may not be able to do a full version of your down dog, and that's fine. We'll do a short version. So you want your hands slightly forward of your shoulders, tuck the toes under, and then pull up, tuck the core here, and then see if you can find somewhat of a down dog. So you want to keep that lower part of your belly tucked in, and you breathe around the navel area. Breathing in and out, it's key. One more. Nice. Very good. Let's come back down. Nice and easy. If your back is really hurting, you want to come onto your forearms and then come on down. Nice and easy right over here. Tuck the core and the glutes slightly. Forehead to mat. I'm going to do a mini back bend, so nothing extravagant. Legs are together. We'll only lift the head and slightly the chest. You want to squeeze the glutes and tailbone down. Elbows in towards your ribs. So you may not be able to go much further than this. We just want a little bit of elasticity in the spine and restoring its health. Do not go into any kind of pain. In yoga, pain is no gain at all, okay? So remember that this is not like the gym. We use our prana to help the muscles relax and find more extension, more room. Lifting the chest if you feel like you could. I'm going to go a little higher because I have the room and my spine wants to. Good. Last breath. And exhale, releasing. Hands stacked underneath your forehead. Gently move your hips from side to side if you can, right? You might be a little too acute still. Otherwise, just allow the lower back to ease itself from what we just did. And then we're going to bring ourselves into the Sphinx pose. So again, if bringing your chest this high is bothering your lower back, move your arms forward so you can still have somewhat of an upper back bend without hurting. And if you cannot, just don't do this posture. Just wait on the floor a little bit. Shoulders back and down, open the heart. Tuck the belly. So draw the sternum bone straight up and towards the wall in front of you. Try to keep that chin into the back of your neck. Good deep breath. Nice. Last one. And then exhaling, releasing. Good. So forehead to mat or stack your hands underneath your forehead. I'm going to bend my knees and bend and sway the legs from side to side. Good, real nice. All right, we're going to reach the right arm forward and roll onto your right side. So stack yourself onto your right side. And then see if you can bring the left foot against the right inner thigh. So keep that knee straight up and then use your left hand to push the knee back away from you, behind you. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, one more breath. Those of you who want more, let's grab the knee. And then we'll pull that left knee in towards the side torso, the left side of your chest. Leave the head onto your arm on this one. And then those of you who can and want a little bit more, grab your left big toe into toe lock and lift the legs straight up. Try to stay on your side. This is a modification, sleeping Vishnu pose. So make sure you breathe here. The key is your breath the entire time. Too bad this microphone doesn't catch my breath here, but it's a hissing sound at the throat, inhaling smoothly and exhaling smoothly through your nose. Last breath. Good. And then releasing gently. Take your time, right? Make sure the lower back is okay with all this. Nice. And then we're going to bring the left knee on the floor in front of you. Big breath. So just let that left lower back release, the glute release. Everything is released on the floor. There's no contraction here. We're just relaxing. And breathing, of course. And we're going to start lifting the left arm and roll back. With the left arm rolling back for a reclined twist. So the knee will be off the floor here, most likely. Grab your knee with your right hand. Roll your head left towards the left arm. And just relax, don't do too much. All we're doing is letting the spine ring itself. And using the breath to, again, find more space in the spine completely and allowing the spinal fluid to move around. A deep breath, deep exhale. Nice, last one. Very nice. We're going to roll onto our back. So I'm going to come back onto my mat and lie down here on your left side. So let the head rest onto your arm. If you need a blanket here, you could. You want to stack your hips, shoulders. And then we're going to start bringing the right knee in and up. Place your right foot on top, the sole of the foot on top of your left inner thigh. And we keep the knee moving back, so help yourself slightly, right? It's just I'm letting my hand press back slightly with my knee without forcing anything. So we are accessing the hips here and the sacrum area to reset it slightly. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One, a couple more. Good, last one. And then we'll bring the right knee in. Pull it in over your right side of your torso. Breathing in and out. And in, I keep pulling my knee in as I breathe. I have more mobility on that side, so I'm just letting it happen. And then one more. Very nice. So if you can't go any further, you stay there with your knee into your chest, or into the side torso rather. And I'm going to grab my right big toe into toe lock with the peace fingers, right? Those two fingers, and I'm going to bring my right leg up, extension, full extension in the inner thigh here and hamstring. So this will release my back and sacrum greatly. Reaching up through the heel. Your leg doesn't have to be fully extended. You can have a bent knee, whatever you can do. You could use a strap as well, strap the ball of your foot. The hardest part is to stay on your right side without rolling back. So deep breath. Relax the right shoulder. Keep bringing that leg closer to you. Extending the knee even more. Good. Last two. Last one. Nice. And we'll bend the knee and release down nice and easy. So we're going to roll in to the side slightly. Bring the right leg bent on the floor on the right side of you, in front of you, sort of. Just relax right here. Letting any kind of tension we created earlier to just release and be at ease. Nice big breath. Big exhale, and then we're going to roll back to do our recline twist here. So bring the right arm up, and we're going to roll it way back to the right. The knee will come off the floor unless you're super flexible. I'm tucking my foot alongside my straight leg. And then I'm just going to make sure your shoulders are flat on the floor here. I have a blanket. Here we go. Deep breath. Deep exhale. Roll your head right. Couple more. Big opening. Nice. Last one. Yes, very good. That's wonderful. Let's come back onto your back here. So try to find your way onto your spine with your feet flat on the floor. We'll bring the feet hip width wider than the hips, about at the edges of your mat, and drop your knees together. Let the back be flat on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Yeah, just release. I feel some heat in my spine, right? So there's energies moving out of the body with the toxins. Big breath. But I don't feel any spine seizing or any tension. It feels pretty good overall. Let's bring the right knee in. Actually, we'll bring both legs in, and then just interlace your hands over your shins about midway, and allow the thighs drop on top of you. Keep the lower back on the mat. Don't let it lift and round. You want a flat spine here. Shoulders are released. Big breath, big exhale. Good. Last one. Nice. And let's move into our happy baby pose. So if you can, grab your feet and stack them over your knees with the soles of feet facing up. Just grab the back of the knees. Relax the legs and pull. You want to pull those knees in towards your shoulders on either side of you. Actually, let's all start this way. We'll take it in step. Make sure your lower back is flat on the floor and not curling up. Big belly breath, expand it. Big exhale. Those inner thighs may be very, very tight. You know, that's because the spine is holding on real tight in your lower back. I'm going through a change of diet, so my body is restructuring, I can tell, and that this seizing of my spine here is an old injury from way, way, way back when. And I believe I'm going through retracing here. I'm just experiencing in the spine, that part of my body that's kind of locked in, and it wants to heal itself. So it's a process, right, through nutrition, your chiropractic care, your yoga, and of course, in my case, I use my miraculous stem cell activation technology. And you can check out below in my description, there's links. You can learn about it there, or just watch some of my videos about that topic and how I repaired my brain that way. So, and I still have a few things going on in my left part of my brain, and that has everything to do with that lower back here. Okay, so big inhale, big exhale. One more. Good, let's take an extra one. Nice and big in the lower belly. Expand that deeply. Nice, real good. Releasing the feet flat on the floor. Walk your feet to the edges of your mat on either side of you, and we're going to drop those knees on the right. So a windshield wipe. But we're going to stay there. I'm going to press the knee down with my other foot. So you can bring the right foot on top of the left knee. For extra pressure, only if your back allows, right? Don't do that if you're really tight and sort of really tweaky, right? Just let the body release in that way without any pressure whatsoever. And then we'll move to the other side. So you always take about 3 to 5 breaths on each side. With yoga in general, sometimes you stay longer. Very nice. Let's come back center. And we'll finish with the hip opener, right? That should really help your back. So cross the right ankle over the left knee. Then press that knee away from you. The left foot is flat on the floor. And just make sure you're not torquing your hips, lower back. Keep yourself flat and even. Just press the knee slightly away. If this is plenty for you, you stay here. If you are able, bring the leg in. So one day ago, I couldn't have brought that leg in. It was just so painful to lift my leg and to pull even. So now I can. I'm going to grab the back of my thigh through the keyhole and just let the right hip release and open. The hip opener, but it will remove tension in your lower back as well. Big belly breath. One more. Oh, let's take a few more. Feels pretty good. So you can apply a little bit more tension by bringing the left leg in if you feel like you have room and that your hip is allowing and your lower back is comfortable. The sensation is you're in your right hip, not your back. Good, releasing on your exhale, dropping the leg. We'll uncross and then switch side, left ankle over right knee. We'll stay here. I'm going to apply pressure with my left hand against the knee to move the knee away from me. Deep breath, inhale, exhale. Good, last one. Nice. So if you're, again, if this is a lot for you right now, stay right here and just breathe through the whole process. Those of you who can bring the right leg in, grab onto your thigh. You might be able to grab your shin. I'm not sure. I'm going to not do the shin because it's going to be too much pressure. And then we'll take 5 to 10 breaths here. So bringing that right leg in as you breathe, as you exhale, if you have the room. Always listen to your body. This is what yoga helps you develop over time as you practice. You start listening to even your thoughts, your feelings, and hearing all of this commotion in your head. Can be commotion. But here we want to listen up to the body and see what it says, right? It has its own innate intelligence. It knows what it needs. I'm going to apply a little bit extra pressure, grabbing my shin instead of my thigh. And then big breath. Oof, big exhale. Good, big inhale. And exhale. Last one, make it count. And exhale, release the leg. Nice. Release the leg on the floor. So your back should feel really, really good. We're gonna, or definitely not as tense as it was before. We're gonna bring the blanket underneath the thighs, not the knees here. We'll bring them close to your glutes. We just want to have that tailbone tucked up a little bit, and this should relieve you of your back issue or just keep you from having any pain right now. We'll just let the body rest for about a minute, not much more. Keep the breath going. Inhale. And if you need a higher, if you feel your back here and your back is tensing, just put a bolster underneath you to lift those legs even higher, right? So the legs are bent instead of straighter. I'm able to release this way. I don't think 2 or 3 days ago I probably wouldn't have done it. And for those of you who are really tense, you can roll onto your side into your fetal pose, which we're going to do in a minute. Big inhale, big exhale. Good, last one. Let's see if we can roll onto our side. Grab your blanket, bring it in between your knees or your bolster, if you have a bolster. Rest onto your arm. You can put a block here on the underneath your head. Good, nice deep breath. being grateful that you can move a little bit and restore the health of your body. Let's push up and come seated as best as you can. Sit on your blanket. You might need to do one more child's pose over here. My back feels pretty good, so I'm going to stay right here. Cross-legged if you can. Nice tall spine. Thanks for joining me, and I hope your back feels better. You can use this little practice to every other day or every day even. Again, don't ever push into pain, right? It gives you no gain, not in yoga. And just let your body tell you how much you can do and or how little you can do. Namaste.